Okay, there you go. You ready? All right, Premier. All right, everyone, good morning and welcome. Let's try that again. Good morning and welcome. Good morning. All right. It's not every day that we have our illustrious leader and Premier, the superhero Doug Ford, here in the House. So a big hand for Doug Ford, our Premier, for being here tonight. So I'd like to thank, first off, our Premier, Doug Ford, and his incredible ministers. We've got Minister Cho, Sarkaria, Oosterhoff, and these guys are the three amigos that have been working so hard, the three musketeers, and there's been a lot of meetings, a lot of studies, a lot of effort, a lot of elbow grease to make sure that we're bringing forward a bold new vision for Niagara and for Niagara Falls. And the idea is we want to take Niagara and Niagara Falls from good to great. We want to unlock the potential. And it took me a number of years from when I was younger to understand what a global brand Niagara Falls was. It is iconic. And having traveled to many places around the world, I realized I've never yet met a person that didn't know Niagara Falls. It's instant brand recognition. And the Premier recognizes that, and we're going to use that to our advantage. I often refer to us as the Coca-Cola of municipalities. So we're going to position Niagara as a world-class destination. And it's going to be more visitors, longer stays, and unforgettable experiences year-round. This is more than just tourism, by the way, folks. I know logically you think it is just tourism. It's economic growth, job creation, investment, and prosperity. The high tide will raise all boats, and it doesn't matter if you've got a little sandwich shop or you sell souvenirs or you're in a big business or a hotel. Everybody is going to benefit. This, as we like to say, and I've coined many times, and I know sometimes people make fun of me for saying it, we offer a buffet of fun and excitement. Whether you want incredible beaches and trails, theater, wineries, distilleries, craft breweries, casinos, restaurants, attractions, whatever you want, we've got it here. And now we need to bring it together to make this destination more sticky, more attractive, more desirable. And I'm so excited as the information is going to be launched today for where we're taking Niagara and Niagara Falls. So I just want to thank the Premier and the ministers for making Niagara Falls and Niagara a priority. Please now put your hands together. Welcome the Chair of the Niagara Parks Commission, Mr. Bob Gale.
It's hard to follow Jim Diodati. We've been friends for years, but I lose if I ever try to compete with him. There's no better advocate for Niagara Falls or Niagara than Jim. Hate giving him compliments because I'll eat them down the way. So thank you and good morning, everyone. As Chair of the Niagara Parks Commission, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Table Rock Centre and to our nearest must-see attraction that opened this past summer, Niagara Takes Flight. I'd like to begin by thanking Premier Ford for selecting this fantastic venue to host this morning's announcement. Thank you, Premier. I was pleased to host Premier Ford a few months ago to experience it firsthand. The support of both the Premier and Minister Cho on this project and the other world-class opportunities we have on the go at Niagara Parks has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the time and energy they have spent on this file, including numerous visits to Niagara. In fact, Premier Ford is the first Premier in recent memory to visit our headquarters at Oak Hall. I go off and I tell you, Darla Jones, my executive assistant, said to me, how did you get the Premier to be here at Oak Hall? And I said, I didn't get him to be here. I invited him here for our projects. The Premier showed up. I know the date, December 9th last year, that he was here because it was outstanding. No one at the Niagara Parks can remember a Premier ever visiting Niagara Parks at Oak Hall. And then we did a tour of the project with Minister Cho and Minister Oosterhoff with pointed conversation on it. So at Niagara Parks, we're proud of our commitment to growing tourism in Niagara by developing and delivering world-class guest experiences, including the spectacular new attraction here at Table Rock, a $25 million investment from our earned revenue. I say that again, our earned revenue. This is the first flying theatre ride to open in Ontario and only the second in Canada. We were fortunate to work with legendary director and filmmaker James Cameron, who provides narration for The Waterfall Room. James Cameron was raised in Niagara Falls, and his first job at 16 years old was working for the Niagara Parks Commission at Queen Victoria Restaurant. I credit Jim Diodati for arranging James Cameron to come here. Jim, you also worked at Niagara Parks Commission many, many years ago. You were a real asset to us for that one, Jim. But I credit him and some residents here. James Cameron was raised in Chippewa, a suburb just south of us. Niagara Takes Flight represents the final chapter of our multi-year development here at Table Rock Centre, which has completely transformed this building from top to bottom. Table Rock is a starting point for millions of guests as they begin their travel journeys in Niagara. In fact, last year we welcomed guests from 169 different countries. We are truly a global destination, and we take great pride in providing an outstanding, great experience from the moment they arrive. Beyond our own investments, we also prioritize working with private sector partners, including Niagara City Cruises, who operate the boat tour, and Niagara Adventure Excursions, who operate the zip line. Two bucket list worthy experiences here in Niagara Falls. These are a few of the examples of how Niagara Parks has been working in lockstep with the province to grow tourism to Niagara, introducing even more reasons to visit Niagara Falls, a destination that has remained at the top of the traveler's bucket list for over 2 centuries. We look forward to supporting the province's bold vision for Niagara. Together with stakeholders across a multitude of sectors, from food and drink to transportation, we are introducing a dynamic new era for tourism and solidifying Niagara's status as the #1 leisure destination in Ontario and Canada. I can't thank the Premier enough for coming to Niagara Parks as recent as 3 months ago, driving around Jim Diodati, Minister Cho, Minister Oosterhoff, looking at plans, and it was constructive. The pointed questions you gave, Mr. Premier, we took into account for, and it made it better for what we're announcing today, or what you're announcing today. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. I'd now like to introduce Minister Sam Oosterhoff from West Lincoln. He is the Minister of Energy, and he'll be our next speaker. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to call Minister Lecce after this and let him know. No, I appreciate the opportunity, and on behalf of the people of Niagara West, I want to acknowledge and thank the Premier and everyone who's here today, and acknowledge just the incredible amount of work that went into what the Premier is going to be sharing with us all in just a few moments. You know, this is one of the most iconic tourism destinations in the world, Niagara Falls, and to be joined not just by the Premier, but also by Stan Cho, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming, so many leaders from across the region, the Chair of the Niagara Parks Commission, Bob Gale, and Prabmeet Sarkaria, the Minister of Transportation, to be joined by so many who have worked hard to put together what we're going to be sharing with is really, really important. We are working to draw more visitors to our region and to support local economic development, to support good jobs with bigger paychecks. Increasingly, Niagara is on the map globally as a place to visit, eat and drink. From awe-inspiring natural attractions to exceptional wines to five-star cuisine, this region really does have it all. And if you've been here for any period of time, you know that. And just the last few months alone, the Premier has shown leadership by demonstrating key investments in the Niagara tourism sector. And you're going to hear more about that today. It includes things like support to rebuild the Shop Festival's Royal George Theatre, plans to redevelop some of our iconic landmarks, upgrades to our highway network, and significant improvements to GO Transit. But there's more to do. Today is a big day for Niagara as we look forward to the next chapter of sharing our world-class destinations, culture, and experiences with the rest of the world. I'm looking forward to hearing more about our bold strategy for Niagara's tourism sector, and I know you are too, because we are all committed to continuing protecting and growing Ontario jobs. Without further ado, I now have the privilege of welcoming to the podium someone who has been a leader to ensure that people can come to the Niagara region, and more as they make their way down the highway, as they make their way down the rail lines, will continue to rely on his leadership. A friend of mine, a friend of Niagara's, the Honourable Prabmeet Sarkaria, Minister of Transportation. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Sam, for that kind introduction. Great to be here with so many, Minister Stan Cho, Minister Oosterhoff, as well as Mohammed Friend, who is joining us here today as well. Thank you to each and every single one of you for being a part of this. And since day one, our government has said that we have to build a strong economy, and we need a strong transportation network that will do that. Thanks to Premier Ford's leadership, we're investing $100 billion in the largest transit and highway expansion in North America. We invested nearly $1.5 million to transform the Niagara Falls train station into a modern transit hub. We've increased GO Rail service from Union Station to Niagara Falls, with service now operating 7 days a week. We hit over 1 million passengers this year on this line. We completed construction at the West Harbour GO Station, which will now mean that you save 15 minutes on a round trip from Niagara into Toronto Union Station. We opened Confederation GO, adding more options to get people to and from Niagara Falls. But we also know not everybody comes by train. Every day, families, tourists, workers, and trucks take the QEW. When it's gridlocked, it makes life harder for everyone. And that's why we're twinning the Garden City Skyway, supporting the movement of more than $1 trillion worth of goods every single year. And we're widening the QEW from Burlington to St. Catharines to improve travel through Niagara right to the U.S. border and keep thousands of local construction workers and skilled tradespeople working. World-class destinations like Niagara need a world-class transportation network to make it easier to visit. And thanks to Premier Ford's vision, our government is taking steps to improve air access to the region. That's why today we're issuing a request for proposal to upgrade and expand Niagara District's airport capacity. Working with air carriers, Transport Canada, and municipalities to identify opportunities to attract new routes and bring more people to the region by air. These investments will not only support Niagara's economy, but it will build a more competitive province and protect Ontario. With that said, and now I have the pleasure to turn it over to Minister Cho, who has been leading this and a true advocate for Niagara and tourism across the province. Over to you, Minister Cho.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's always a great day when you get to be right here in Niagara Falls and Niagara region, which is, of course, known for its majestic beauty, its deep history, including its war during the War of 1812 and its status as one of the world's most iconic tourist destinations. I've told my family's tie to Niagara Falls probably over 100 times. I've never done it on camera before, but I'm going to do it now. You know, when my mom is a beautiful lady. She's 73 years old, but she looks as stunning as she did when she got married at 23. But the only reason she agreed to marry my dad when he asked in South Korea was because my dad was the only suitor who said, "I can show you Niagara Falls." I literally owe my life to this place. So it's even more special to be here this morning with so many people who are visionaries for the region, including, of course, our Premier, who I'll introduce in a moment, Minister Sam Oosterhoff, Mayor Jim Diodati, who is the heartthrob of not just Niagara, the entire region, Lord Mayor Gary Zalepa, and, of course, Deputy Lord Mayor Wiens, Mayor Redekop, Niagara Parks Commission Chair Bob Gale, CEO David Adames, Mayor Bill Steele, I'm probably missing a few mayors, and, of course, our wonderful parliamentary assistant, Mohammed Firan, Tim Jennings, Executive Director and CEO of Shaw Festival, and my good friend, Minister Sarkaria. There are so many others here who believe in Niagara and are joining us here today. And today's announcement is about protecting what makes Niagara world-class and strengthening the region for the future. Now, visitors come here to experience Ontario's natural beauty at its finest. One of our province's 4 UNESCO World Biosphere Reserves, the majesty of the falls and the scenery along the parkway are stunning. Winston Churchill once called the prettiest Sunday afternoon drive in the world. And beyond nature, visitors can savor world-class wineries, enjoy fine Michelin-starred dining, explore culture and historic sites, and hike through the picturesque Niagara Escarpment. In Niagara-on-the-Lake, people can take in a show at one of Ontario's, in fact Canada's, cultural gems, the Shaw Festival, where some of our brightest artists bring stories to life. This is an asset that we are proud to protect and promote. And this commitment to culture goes hand in hand with the broader impact of tourism, an industry that supports more than 40,000 jobs across accommodation, food services, arts, culture, recreation, and entertainment. And our government has already taken steps to protect and strengthen the region's cultural assets, including, as was heard earlier, $35 million to rebuild the iconic Royal George Theatre, along with an additional $250,000 in funding to support the Shaw Festival and ensure it continues to inspire audiences from around the world for generations to come. We're also seeing more than $300 million in private sector investment transforming the historic Toronto Power Generating Station into Niagara's first five-star hotel, an incredible addition that will elevate the region's appeal, attract new international travelers, and create good-paying jobs for local residents. These initiatives are part of our government's commitment to protect Ontario's tourism assets, supporting local economies, and ensuring the region remains competitive on the global stage. Niagara is everything it needs to continue thriving. Its natural beauty, its cultural richness, its attractions, and people who bring the region to life. Our job is to protect that momentum, strengthen what makes Niagara unique, and ensure future generations can continue to enjoy, experience, and be inspired by everything this region has to offer. Together, we are building stronger, more resilient tourism industry that protects Ontario's cultural assets, supports good jobs, and ensures Niagara remains a world-class destination for decades to come. Now, about a year and a half ago, when the Premier gave me the great honour of serving in this capacity, the first specific file that he spoke about was Niagara and the region. And let me be very clear, this is the next chapter in that vision. We aren't here without the leadership of somebody who believes in the region, a region that is known worldwide, and it is through Premier Doug Ford's leadership that we are here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford.
Boy, well, it's great to be here, and good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to acknowledge the shooting Saturday at Brown University. Ontario will always stand with our American friends and family to support them in any way we can. I also want to acknowledge the terrible attack that took place yesterday in Australia on the first day of Hanukkah. My thoughts are with the victims, their families, and with the Jewish community around the world. These acts of hate and violence driven by anti-Semitism are unacceptable in Australia, in the US, in Ontario, and anywhere in the world. We need to come together to support our Jewish friends and neighbors as they grieve and to help them feel safe in our communities. I was glad to see Hanukkah celebrations continue yesterday, despite the terrible tragedy, and I was glad to see that police services have been taking this threat very seriously, and have increased security near Jewish community organizations. I look forward to joining in Hanukkah celebrations over the next few days, and I encourage everyone to do the same and to stand with our Jewish community against hate and anti-Semitism. Thank you. So, before I begin, Mo, all the other ministers are up there. You come beside me, buddy, because you're a champion. Mo, come over here. And if we could get the mayors to shift over behind us, because it doesn't happen with one mayor, even though Mayor Diodati is a champion, he's incredible, and he's the greatest person in Niagara, so he told me last night when he called me all jacked up. But he is a champion. And now I'd like to thank all of you for joining us for today's announcement. And I'm glad to be back here in Niagara Falls with Minister Cho, which you just heard, and Sarkaria, alongside Minister Oosterhoff, PA Friend, and Mayor Diodati, who are hosting us today, and Bob from Niagara Parks, Bob Gale, as you heard from, as well as all the other mayors and elected officials. And I'll tell you, Bob and Mayor Diodati will be the first to tell you, along with myself, we cannot do this without the cooperation with all the other mayors. The greatest area in Niagara with the best mayors you could ever ask for, and they're all involved. So thank you, guys. A couple mayors and a couple lords as well. I love that. Deputy Lord and Lord. And industry leaders as well joining us at this incredible Niagara Takes Flight I can't wait for the media to get on there. Jamie, you got to hop on this. It's second to none. You'll have the best time ever, and I encourage everyone, come down and take a look at Niagara Takes Flight. Is a great family-friendly destination that has already welcomed 120,000 visitors and generated almost $3.5 million. So the payoff is going to be really, really quick on this. It's amazing when you come up with a new idea and rides and everything else, people are attracted to come to Niagara here. Since opening in August 2025, and it's exactly the sort of attraction we need more than ever right here in Niagara. Because folks, Niagara has the potential to be a true tourism powerhouse and a world-class destination that drives Ontario's economy and keep tens of thousands of Ontario workers on the job. And we're doing everything we can to unlock that potential. With tariffs and economic uncertainty taking direct aim at our economy, targeting Ontario workers and businesses is more important than ever that we support new opportunities for workers and attract new jobs and investments, including in Ontario's tourism industry. Here in Niagara, the tourism sector already brings in $3 billion every single year, with more than 13 million visitors coming to Niagara from across Ontario and around the world. And Stan, you said it bang on. You go anywhere in the world, or Mayor as well, you go anywhere in the world, ask them where Toronto is. They aren't 100% sure. Ask them where Niagara Falls is. They know exactly where Niagara Falls is. Now we say it's an hour from Toronto. Give them a rough ballpark figure there. The highlight of every trip to Niagara is the falls itself, with the incredible Horseshoe Falls and iconic attractions like the Niagara City Cruises or the journey behind the falls, but the region has so much more to offer. It has incredible history and culture, world-famous restaurants and wineries, world-class gaming and casinos, and family-friendly attractions, as well as the beautiful Niagara Escarpment. With the proper support and the right vision, Niagara Falls and the entire Niagara region can be an engine for Ontario's economy and even a bigger tourist destination than it already is. And I guess that's our goal, Mayor and Stan, that, you know, the average stay, what is it, 1.7 days or something, 1.5 days. We want to make it a week long, 4 days long, and that's exactly what we're doing. And that brings us for what we're here today to announce. Today, I'm thrilled to announce our government Destination Niagara strategy, a multi-billion-dollar plan to build new world-class attractions, elevate Niagara's casino and gaming experience, meaning we want more casinos, big, large casinos, to come here, boost, and we are doing that. So all the big casinos in Niagara, I'm making a clear message to you, you're welcome to Niagara. Boost local arts and culture, and improve the region's transportation network with the ambitious goal of attracting 25 million annual visitors and generating $3 billion of additional revenue for Niagara every year. We want to double the number of visitors who come to Niagara every year, and we want to double the amount of time that they spend in Niagara, enjoying all it has to offer and supporting the local economy. Our strategy is built on 5 pillars, and I'll just run through them. First, we're going to build new must-see attractions. Imagine a theme park with rides and games and all-new Niagara River line with an electric tram running 3.8 kilometers through Queen's Victoria Park with unmatched views of Niagara Falls. We've also welcoming the revitalization of the Toronto Power Generating Station into a boutique hotel and attraction with a spa, art gallery, and a free museum. I'm happy to say work has already begun on redeveloping the station into the region's first and only 5-star boutique hotel, a project funded entirely through more than $300 million private sector investment. We're working with private investors in Niagara Parks to revitalize the marina at Miller's Creek into a quality recreation destination and working to develop an observation wheel just like those in London and Las Vegas that will overlook the falls. All these attractions will draw people from around the world, helping families and children make memories that will last a lifetime. We're also looking to grow Niagara's gaming market. One of the options being explored is the potential development of multiple new world-class casinos to provide more options for visitors, encourage the development of new hotels, entertainment venues, and restaurants, boosting the economy and helping create tens of thousands of good jobs. As Minister Cho mentioned, we're also doubling down with the support of Niagara's incredible wine, craft beverage, and culinary scene. And I just got to tell you about the wineries and the alcohol sector. It is booming. I want to thank the people of Ontario for buying Ontario wine. I think it's up 70 some odd percent, I think it was 76% or even higher, including agritourism as well as the unique festivals, arts and cultures offerings that make Niagara so unforgettable. And of course, as we welcome the millions of new visitors that we're expecting here in Niagara, we'll invest to ensure we have the highways, the transit, the airports that are needed to help people get here quickly and conveniently. Our vision to expand the runway by 3,000 feet, Mayor, 3,000 feet, that will get all the big planes around the world in? Yep. Because if we got to go 5,000, let's do the 5,000, and we'll get everyone from all over. We're going to revitalize that airport. We're going to ask the federal government for their support as well. This is going to bring people in from all over the world, and we're going to move quick on this, allowing passenger flights arrive from around the world, bringing in even more tourism dollars and creating even more jobs. Our Destination Niagara strategy will build the region into a tourism powerhouse with incredible sites and attractions that will entertain families and support our workers. Together, we're going to build a place that welcomes families from across our province and across the world so they can experience the very best Ontario, Niagara, and Canada have to offer. Together, we're going to protect Ontario workers and businesses and build the most resilient, self-reliant, and competitive economy in the G7. I want to thank everyone for having us here today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much.
We will now take questions from the media. Media can line up behind me and state their name and outlet. Just a reminder, the format today is one question and one follow-up per outlet. First question.
Hi everyone. It's Randy Rath with CHTV. Premier, the other day, you told us that regarding the issue of selling off the booze that was pulled off the shelves of the LCBO and donating the proceeds to charity, that you would speak to the LCBO officials about that. And I'm wondering if you've had that conversation and if you made a decision about that.
I did, but it's not as easy as it sounds. We just can't sell it off, and I'm not going to do that during Christmas holidays when it will hurt our wineries, it will hurt our distilleries, and it's just not going to happen. I want to support local jobs and opportunities here, but if we find a buyer maybe in another province, that'd be different. But folks, keep in mind, people are coming up with all these wild ideas. I've never seen people so interested in liquor. But guys, this is the LCBO's money. It's no one else's. In return, it's Ontario's money. So it's the taxpayers' money that own LCBO. And if we can get rid of it out of province somewhere, we will. But I'm not going to hurt the wineries here or the distilleries or anyone else. So go out there. Buy Ontario booze, no matter if it's wine, whiskey, vodka, whatever is made here, and support the local industry.
Okay, thanks for that. Also, people in these parts, they used to go across the border constantly. People go over, have some wings, they go over, get a couple of groceries. Canadians are no longer flying to Florida. They're not being, their snowbirds have basically, it's dried up. There's been an organic boycott of tourism into America. Do you support that? And are you going to go to Florida this year?
Yeah, so let me tell you, it's going to be the first time I'm not going to Florida. But I talked to so many people. Don't let this guy, Trump, determine and ruin your life and everything. That's my personal choice. Maybe some families have gone to Florida their whole lives. Go to Florida. That's great. But I encourage you to stay here and support local tourism. But you can't let the one tyrant change our lives. right? You just can't let it happen. I'm doing it out of my own personal choice because I just can't do it. But don't let this guy change your lives. If you go down and you see, you know, maybe their grandparents are down there, maybe they're somewhere else. So we'll get through this, but they're hurting down there right now. They're hurting on all fronts. They're hurting on their economy. President Trump is at the lowest rating that any president has been in the first year, and God knows probably 100 years. So it's taking effect. And I always say, we love our American friends, and the Americans love Canadians. And there's just one guy, I just don't see eye to eye with this, President Trump. So we'll keep fighting. And I'll never apologize to that guy, ever, ever. I'll keep giving it to him. Thank you.
Good morning, Premier. Megan Fitzpatrick from CBC News. This strategy mentions the idea of a new theme park here in Niagara, but there are a lot of local residents that are wondering about the old theme park of Marineland. What do you have to say to local residents who are concerned nothing's happening with that site currently? They want something there. It would create jobs. It would create economic activity. So what do you have to say to them, and what is the latest on that site and the animals there? Well,
on that site, Marineland's in charge of it. It's not a government site. Everyone thinks it's a government site. It's not. And I'm an animal lover. I hope the whales survive. They get treated properly. Maybe someone's going to go in there and take over the site and give them a better way of living, because they're stuck in a small little area. It bothers me. But that's Marineland. They want to come in and put an offer to Ontario. Well, we'll look at it. But when we go out there, and Stan does this, and I know the mayor does it as well, we go out and we ask people, we take surveys. The number one attraction, which I wasn't surprised, are theme parks. So, back in the day when my kids were little, the Marineland ad would come on, and they'd be jumping up and down. Next thing you know, I'd be going to Marineland. And it's going to be the same, I think, when we build a lot of different options and attractions. Do you want to say anything, Stan? Go ahead.
Thank you, Premier, and thanks for that question, Megan. I think the Premier nailed it, right? I mean, standing right behind us is Niagara Takes Flight. The original payback period on this for the Parks Commission was 6 years. It's now 3.5 years. It's an incredibly successful attraction. And when you think about your kids, and my daughter's 15 months old, she's going to get whatever she wants when it comes to vacations. There's no doubt about that. That's what we need down here, right? We're talking about taking a one-day visit and turning it into a 4-day or 1-week visit. Let's give the family some options. The kids love to play down here, but we need something more for them to do. This attraction and going out for them, we're talking big names, right? We're talking to people all over the world to bring the massive operators here to an area that needs it. Absolutely going to drive tourism dollars. We know it's one of the largest drivers of the economy down here, and that traffic's going to spill over into the region. Let's not forget that this region is not just about the falls. We have the deep water ports of Port Colborne with international cruise ships docking there right now. We have clear water beaches in Crystal and Nickel Beach. We have the richest soils on the planet in the escarpment, the rich culture of Niagara-on-the-Lake with the Shaw Festival. This region has absolutely everything. It's just missing a few pieces. The attraction is one of them. And that's what we're here to announce this morning. We're very excited about it. Thank you. Thank you.
And to further answer the question specific to Marineland, there has been a number of proposals, and the proponents do come to visit the city for land use and to find out what's allowed through our official plan and zoning bylaws. I can tell you that right now the size of that property is approximately 3 Magic Kingdoms, to put it into perspective. It used to be the #1 tourist attraction in the country, and obviously animal entertainment's fallen out of favor over the last 60 years. But I can tell you we're working closely with Marineland, with the trustees there, working closely with our government partners to find a soft landing for the animals and to turn that into the economic generator that it once was.
Premier, my follow-up is for a colleague of mine at CBC Toronto. Today marks 9 years since the death of Soleiman Faqiri in an Ontario correctional facility. His family says not once has your government reached out to them to apologize or engage on the recommendations from the inquest, where his death was ruled a homicide. What do you want to say to them, and what is your government doing to protect people in Ontario's correctional facilities?
Well, first of all, a death of anyone, my heart goes out to the family. I think it's terrible, first of all. So anyone passes away, no matter if they're in a correctional facility or not, no one should lose their life. So we're always trying to make sure that anyone that works there is professional, and if they don't act professional, then they're going to be held accountable. It's as simple as that. So.
Are you going to act on the recommendations, though, from the inquest? They're saying your government's done little.
Well, no, I disagree. The Minister Solicitor General is acting on the recommendations already. He's doing a great job, and we're going to continue doing a great job. And the other thing, what we need, we need to build more correctional facilities and make sure they're state of the art. But do you know at the end of the day, stay out of the jails, stop breaking the laws, and you won't have anything to worry about.
It's Ray Spiteri with the Niagara Falls Review. How would you describe, Premier, the current climate when it comes to casinos? We have 2 here in Niagara Falls. And what's your ultimate goal? Like, how many would you like to see here? 3, 4, 5?
Well, that's gonna be up to the mayor and the minister, and we're gonna go out there and do some sounding to communities. But this is about jobs. It's not just about casinos. This is about attracting tourists from all around the world that will fly into our new airport that we're going to be building, expanding the runway. And when they go to maybe a casino, they're going to be renting a hotel room. They're going out to a restaurant. They're going to attractions like the one we're here right now, and other new attractions, and bring dollars, American dollars and other dollars right here in Niagara and create more jobs. So we're going to put that out there, and all the big casinos in Las Vegas, we're serious. It's happening. Get on board. Come and put a proposal in. Come and tell us how you're going to build $1 billion hotel with attractions, with cinemas inside, with live theater. That's what we're looking for. Casino itself is good, but it's everything else that comes along with the casinos.
This is something local officials have been pushing for a while. Are you satisfied with Mohegan? Are you satisfied with the current operators of the casinos that are here now?
Well,
or is this a message to them we need to do better?
Well, we need to do better 100%. Mohegan is ragging the puck. They got to make a decision. You're either on board or you're out. Simple. I'm tired of screwing around. Sorry for the language. We have to build Niagara. We have to invite other casinos in. And they better come to the table. We're working with them. We're doing everything we can. But we've been working with them for, God, what is it, about 2 years now? Enough's enough. And we're moving with you or without you. I'd prefer to move with you. But if you don't move, we're going. Simple as that. We're moving.
This will be the last question.
Good morning, Premier.
Hey,
Jamie with City TV. This question comes in from Tina Yazdani, who's at Queen's Park doing interviews, but it dovetails into Randy's question too. How is tourism in Niagara Falls? Is it up? Is it down? Maintaining itself? And then the second part of that question will be these investments. How much money are these investments? Where are they going? When are they going to start flowing?
About the tourism, I should hand it over to the 2 experts. One, the mayor, and the Minister of Tourism. So they'd know the answers better than I would.
Thank you, Premier. Yeah, tourism, clearly, because of what's gone on south of the border, our American tourism is down. That's the downside. The upside is international visitation is up, and domestic tourism for staycations is also up. So overall, we're holding our own, but I think the whole objective of Destination Niagara is to refresh the brand, add more offerings, become part of the discussion, and take Niagara Falls from the back burner to the front burner to show them that we've advanced, we've been listening, and we know it's a very competitive world. It's great that we have the greatest attraction in the world with the falls, but how can we build on that, add to that, and enhance the visitation here?
Thanks, Premier. Thanks, Mayor. So I would add just 2 points to that. David Adames, who's the CEO of the Niagara Parks Commission, is doing a wonderful job here, gave me some statistics on the international numbers. They're staggering. Yes, as was mentioned, the American visitation is down, but we're seeing record growth from visitation from Europe and Asia. And I think year-over-year revenue from Germany is up 38%, from France 33%, I believe Japan's 28%. There are double-digit gains all throughout Asia and Europe in terms of spending. The second point we need to capitalize on that. We are friends with our Americans, neighbors. We're going to welcome them back. This will eventually pass. This tariff war will eventually be over, and President Trump will eventually be out of office. And we know we will remain friends. In the meantime, we have a wonderful opportunity to build new relationships and open new markets to the region. That's exactly why we were in Asia just a couple of months ago, to promote this wonderful region. And the Premier nailed it earlier. A lot of people there. GTA has maybe 7 million people. That's a small town in Japan and Korea. We're opening up, and they don't know about Toronto. They do know about Niagara Falls and the region. Let's capitalize on that. Let's double the visitation here, as the Premier said.
Thank you. This concludes today's press conference.
Okay, folks, well, thank you for coming out. We're doing something special, never been done in Canada before. I want to thank all the mayors, they're champions, and as well as Mayor Diodati. You know, the mayor calls me up. He was about as jacked up last night talking to me. You think it was the little kid before Christmas, and this is Chris. I know, but that's great leadership, and Bob Gale. But it takes a whole community, and that's what we're doing. I want to thank the ministers and all the other stakeholders here. We're going to make Niagara the greatest place on earth to visit and play and have fun and bring your family. It's going to be a great destination. So thank you once again, and God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much.